Hello my students. So the purpose of this brief video is to just go over some initial steps for starting your research. Okay. So this is our albany.edu main website. From here I'm going to click on libraries up here. Okay, and this is the main library website. And we can go ahead and if we were, looking specifically for a book, we could click that tab, or if we wanted to limit our database. So for example, if you're doing like studies on literature, you might limit your database to the MLA. But for this, we're just going to leave it on eDiscover and go ahead and just put in search terms. So if you're writing a research paper on, let's say, marketing, and you want to look up something like generations or things like that to understand how a generation, works. We could just put in something like marketing and millennials, and let's go ahead and hit enter and see if that actually brings anything up. Now, before we do anything here, okay, click on anything, let's go ahead and click on our button down here for scholarly peer-reviewed. That's a nice way to cover ourselves to make sure we're getting good quality research. Okay, so the nice thing about clicking that peer-reviewed button is that it also limits our searches a little bit for us. And I mean, if you look right at the top here, you have an article that talks about social media marketing communications. Now this is about South Africa, and of course, I mean, generations span the entire world, but you may be interested in something just very specific to American marketing, right? So here you have perceptions of millennials, a comparison of US and Indian millennials. So you might find some interesting information here about American marketing tactics to millennials. Okay, or you might even move on to something else. So you're going to go through this list, and what I would do is, so something like this looks kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and click on that. Actually, I like that one after even better. Let me go back. Look at this one. So let's go ahead and let's click on the PDF file for that while we have this. And just because something is a good title doesn't necessarily mean that it's, good for you. If you're fortunate enough to have an abstract, right, a summary of what the article's about, go ahead and read that first. A lot of times you'll get a nice idea of whether or not this fits into your topic. And if it does seem to fit into your topic, go ahead and start reading the article itself, okay? Alright, be mindful. If we go back to our search, let's go back here. Okay, be mindful of the date of your research, right? So toward the top we have the more newer ones. So 2016 is good. 2012, you're still dealing with millennials and whatnot. 2014 is still fine, but be mindful of your dates. If you're going down to like 2001. Well, now you're starting to get into, areas where you might be actually thinking more about Generation X marketing, okay? So always just keep the dates in mind, all right?